Oh, hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing, rating, and getting facts on Predators, produced by Robert Rodriguez in 2010. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, you know, the guy that made Spy Kids. Like, how the hell do you go from Spy Kids to motherfucking Predators? It's like, no, that's crazy. Not to mention he made From Dusk Till Dawn, but I'll get to that in maybe a future video. But yeah, he made this movie on $40 million. That's chump change when it comes to making a movie. It really is. It made triple what it cost to make worldwide, but yet they never greenlit a sequel. And that's just triple what it made in theaters. If you bought the Blu-ray, that's another $20 on top of whoever bought the Blu-ray. I don't understand. Why was it not given a sequel? But whatever. There are actually 2 comic books that you can read. Predators Surviving Life or something like that, and then Predators Fire and Stone or some shit. It follows right after Predators, and then so on and so forth. It follows Adrian Brody and Alice Braga's characters getting off. Oh yeah, speaking of them, this movie is packed with freaking actors, good actors. You got Alice Braga, Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo, and Topher Grace. Topher Grace, you know, from That 70s Show, he's more of a comedian, but, you know, he does really well, and he fooled me inside this movie. I did not see that shit coming, but this movie is a wild ride. When Robert Rodriguez was producing this and Foxgate greenlit it, he told everyone involved with the story and writing out the story and all the characters and stuff, he said that to watch Predator, that was his first order, basically, is watch Predator. And then he said, watch Predator 2, watch AVP and AVPR. Now I want you to do everything that Predator did right and do nothing that Predator 2, AVP, and AVPR did. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, sure, the other ones really weren't that great, but they had their, you know, their good moments. But besides that, this movie is really great. I think it did a fantastic job, especially after not seeing a Predator on screen since 2007. So even though it's only been 3 years, or 4 years actually, I love Predator, and I'd like to see. I would want to see Predator every other year compared to seeing freaking Star Wars every other year. I mean, I love Star Wars, but get the fuck out of here. Anyways, this movie's great. It's not predictable like the other ones. It has that mystique, it has that suspense, it has that thrill, and it has all the action. So let's go on this freaking ride. Predators opens up on Royce free falling from the sky. When he's on the ground, he is confused about what happened to him and where he is. He runs into cartel enforcer Kochilo and Russian Spetsnaz Nikolai. Royce asks Nikolai what's the last thing he remembers. He tells him war and then a blinding light, and the next thing he knows, he was falling. The 3 run into IDF sniper Isabella, Yakuza assassin Hanzo, RUF Umbasa Death Row Stans, and American Dr. Edwin. Okay, so a few facts about the scenes that you just saw and one of the characters that's pretty funny. The original opening scene that's in the novelization, Isabella was on Earth doing a mission. And the mission, during the mission, she shot 2 guards, and then her and her spotter got overrun. The spotter got captured, she fled, and she was hiding in a bush and watching her spotter get tortured and killed. And then after that, blinding white light, and then it goes to Royce free falling. They're both, don't get wrong, they're both the main antagonist, or protagonist. They share the same screen time. One's like, Royce is like the bad cop, Isabella's the good cop, and their chemistry just works like really well together, like yin and yang. It's really good. I love it. And in the original script, when Danny Trejo first meets, or they come across Isabella, Danny Trejo says to Isabella, "Oh, I didn't know bitches were allowed to be snipers." And then she says, "Is that why you didn't get in?" I thought that was good. That'd be really good. I don't know why they include that in the movie instead of talking about the fucking jungle. But anyways, also with Danny Trejo, so when Robert Rodriguez was writing out the characters and describing them and stuff for Kuchila, he literally put a character that looks like Danny Trejo, but he never called up Danny Trejo. So Danny got a hold of this. He was informed by someone that was involved. Calls Robert up, because they've been friends since From Dusk Till Dawn, the early 90s. And he's like, "Yo, so I heard you're working on a movie called Predators and you're looking for a character that looks like Danny Trejo. Well, guess what? I got good news. I look like Danny Trejo. And just, I think it's funny because just I can hear his voice in my head and laughing. So that's pretty good. But yeah, let's get on with the show, shall we? Deciding that they should all travel together because strength in numbers, they unwillingly and unknowingly spring a trap that seems to have been laid for them. Isabella catches eye on somebody. She says she doesn't need to take him out because he's already dead. Turns out he is U.S. Special Forces and he's supposed to be in Afghanistan. Royce tells the group that this trap was not for them. Does that look familiar? Like in the first Predator, when Schwarzenegger left all those traps with the deadfall, the swinging log, and then later on the spikes that are hung up and everything like that. Yeah, so like I said, Robert Rodriguez said to stick true and be true to the first film, which is why he really wanted to include this scene, which tells you that the traps worked for Schwarzenegger. And if they didn't work for this guy, then whatever they're up against is far more dangerous than what Dutch went against in the first Predator. While continuing through the jungle, they come across dog-like creatures that attack them relentlessly. When all hope seemed lost, Isabella puts her gun to her head, intended to pull the trigger. But just when she's about to pull, a whistle is blown, and the dogs retreat. Okay, now a few facts about this scene. So the dogs were highly inspired by one of the skulls that was in the trophy case room on the ship in the Predator 2. Now, the scene when Isabella puts the gun to her head, in the original script, because the beginning was pulled, the original beginning, but it's in the novelization, when she puts it to her head, she doesn't pull right away, not because she's afraid to pull, but because she puts the gun to her head, and in the original script, in the novelization, she has a flashback of watching her partner get shot in the head. And that's why she pauses. It's not because she's afraid to kill herself, which would if that was all put in, it still would have been great. This is still great, but it would have been great. Let's go out the show, see where these dogs went to. After the dogs disappear, the group finds Cochilo injured and calling for help. Royce says that it's a trap. Upon springing the trap, they're in disbelief. Isabella shoots Cochilo as a mercy killing. When he calls for help again, she realizes something is wrong. She feels she is being watched, and she is right to feel that. So here's where the movie started to go downhill for some people. Because, you know, on the trailer, Danny Trejo was one of the big names that was thrown on there. And you would expect a big name actor to live longer, but he really doesn't. So people were poopy about that. I remember me and my cousin, we were like, what? They killed off Danny Trejo already? What the fuck? But, yeah, also in the original script and in the novelization, instead of Isabella shooting Cochilo in the heart through the back, he shoots him in the head and his head explodes. That was taken out of the script because too graphic. Yeah, I know the movie has its graphic points already, but you can only have so amount of graphic, like gore and stuff, until it becomes NC-17. And they didn't want that because then people won't bring their kids. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Dude, just show me the gore. Show me the gore. Dude, I'll go watch it. Won't you go watch it? If you're a fucking Predator fan, you love that shit, you're gonna watch it anyways. I'll bring my kids. I don't give a fuck. Well, no, you're not allowed to bring your kids. If you're at NC-17, you have to be 17 or old to go see it, even with an adult, which is stupid. I don't know. Whatever, dude. But still, I would have watched it. Wouldn't you? Royce says that they should go after the hunters instead of being hunted. Upon entering the hunters' camp, they see a creature that Isabella seems to recognize, and Royce notices this. Within seconds, they are ambushed. Royce lays down suppressive fire, as well as Nikolai, so everybody can run. Realizing they are outmatched, they frantically run through the jungle, till they stumble down a hill and off a cliff into the freezing cold water below. Oh, they go down a hill and go into water. Where does that sound familiar, right? The first Predator. Besides that, so in this scene, when they get ambushed, or before they get ambushed, when Isabella sees the Predator, and you can see on her face she knows what's going on. In the original script, and in the novelization, Isabella quickly tells everyone to look for footprints because their enemy is invisible. but she doesn't tell them that till later on in the film. Also, when Roy comes out and just starts shooting wildly in a straight line, because, I mean, he can't see, he's just shooting, right? In the novelization and in the script, he shoots at the dirt to make a dust cloud, and the dust clings to the predators, making them visible. Now, obviously, they didn't include this in the film because then that would claim that, you know, he has knowledge. But also, if Isabella did tell them that they were invisible, then that would make sense with Royce making the dust cloud. I mean, I think that probably would have been a lot cooler, maybe, if she would have told him what was going on right at the point, maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I just like how this panned out. What do you think? After their humiliating defeat, Royce confronts Isabella about what she knows. She tells them about the 87 Guatemala incident. She tells them about Dutch and his team.
In his debrief, he gave a detailed description.
She also informs them about their weaponry and capabilities,
He could see in infrared,
telling them how Dutch was able to beat one of them.
one by one.
Okay, so in early drafts of the script, while she's talking about everything that happened in 87 with Dutch and the team and how they faced off against a predator, they were going to show clips from the original movie that coincide with it. So it would have shown Dutch, his team. It would have shown Dylan. It would have shown the creature or the predator being camouflaged. It would have shown him covered in mud and hiding the heat signature. It was supposed to show all that. Which, I mean, I don't think it really would have affected it. I think it would have been cheesy because it's like, wow, you know, they're trying to make this movie longer by throwing in clips of the first movie. But also, if you, in the comic, or the comic adaptation of the movie, it does show flashbacks. It shows little clips. It shows, like, Schwarzenegger or Dutch's character, you know, covered in mud, and him facing off against a predator and stuff like that. But I think it was the right thing to not include that, because that's what I would have thought. It would have been like, oh, wow, look, they couldn't come up with anything, so they just put clips from the first movie into it. It would have been stupid, because I hate when they freaking do that in movies. Like, instead of just talking about a flashback or something, or even if they have flashbacks, it shows like 60 seconds of flashbacks from a movie two sequels ago. Stupid. But yeah, you probably agree with me, right? Trying to lay a trap for the hunters, Royce realizes that maybe the hunters can see their trap, so they use Edwin as bait. Isabella takes her shot at the creature. Upon going to the body, they realize that this is not the same creature that they met before. And upon further investigation, Isabella realizes that she missed. Okay, so a little fact about that creature that's chasing Edwin. That creature is actually the original design of the Predator. Way before Stan Winston came in and designed the Predator that we know, they had, I think it's called like Boss Studios or something like that, paid them, this up-and-coming special effects bullshit people, because they wanted to take the cheap route, to come up with the design. They came up with it, they bought it, tried to use it, but then they decided, or Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, yeah, this design is crap. And so they hired Stan Winston. But yes, that is the original design. To prove that, if you go into the Blu-ray or DVD, whichever, the special features of the Predator, or of Predator, under, I think it's, if it bleeds, we can kill it category, it will show you pictures of them, or film of them filming the specific scenes, like the scene when Mac freaking shoots at the Predator and he like runs away. It shows the creature in the red in his green screen suit. And at that time, I should have included this in the Predator review. Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the suit. Yeah, because they thought it would be cool that once the final battle happens between him and Schwarzenegger, he uses like martial arts on him. But then once he realized that it was stupid and he didn't like the costume and shit like that, and he left. And then shortly after he left, Stan Winston changed the design. But then again, that wouldn't have worked because freaking Jean-Claude Van Damme's like 5'6", and Kevin Peter Hall is 7'2". And someone towering over Schwarzenegger is a lot more intimidating than a short dude doing kung fu. I'm sorry. Even though I still wouldn't fight Jean-Claude Van Damme, but still. Let's get on with the show. They are surprised by a man named Nolan. He tells them that he has killed 2 or 3 predators and that there are 2 different types, small and large, and tells about the blood feud between them. He tells them that he has been there for 7 to 10 seasons. He also informs them that whenever they hunt, they always change their armor or their weapons or skills to become better killers, and tells them the only way off the planet is with their ship. Okay, so little facts about this whole thing. In the original script, Nolan didn't sneak up on them and surprise them. In the original script and in the novelization, they're going through the jungle and they happen upon him. He's scavenging weapons and armor and, tech from dead bodies and whatever he can. And Lawrence Fishburne didn't like that idea. He's like, no, how about I just sneak up on him? And he's a Predator fan also, and he talks about, saying like the phrase like, over here, turn around. And that was in the first Predator, which is a nod at the first Predator. And also, what I've always wondered is like when he says 7 to 10 seasons for how long he's been there, I thought like, does that mean hunting seasons? Does that mean like actual weather? Like, because if it's actually like, like spring, summer, fall, blah, 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 then like 10 seasons, that'd be like 2.5 years, right? Or something like that. So in the novelization, it explains 7 to 10 seasons would be 1.5 years to 2 years. So, I guess that's long enough for him to completely think that he has an imaginary friend that he 100% talks to. Okay, let's get on with the show. Royce and the survivors realize that there's smoke in the cabin and notice that Nolan has started a fire and tried to smoke them out. He wants to kill them and take what they have. Royce does not accept this and shoots the side of the hull to alert the predators to their whereabouts. Okay, so with this scene, in the original script, Nolan doesn't try to kill them by smoking them out with fire. Nolan tries to use poison gas, something that he found while scavenging. And in the novelization, in the original script, like they're supposed to get poisoned, and then like throughout the entire movie, they're coughing and bleeding from the mouth and like stuff like that. And so they just thought that'd be stupid to include, and it just was unnecessary. So they just went the simple route and had Nolan try to smoke them out with fire. I really don't give a fuck. It's whatever. He could have done either or. But actually, if I think about it really hard, I think that the whole like poison thing would just slightly overkill maybe, or just too much. What do you think? Upon escaping Nolan's hideout, Tracker injures Nikolai. Inflicting a mortal wound, Nikolai decides to go out on his own terms. With Tracker dead, the rest of the crew try to celebrate, but their victory is short-lived when they are confronted by Berserker, the leader of the hunters. Berserker aims his laser at Roy with intention to kill him, but it's interrupted by Stan, who gives him the chance to run away. Okay, so a few facts about this whole sequence. When Nikolai speaks to, or after Tracker, impales Nikolai and raises him up, and Nikolai shows the claymore, says something to him in Russian, and blows up. What he says to him in Russian, roughly translated, or is the closest translation to, "You are one ugly motherfucker," which is a nod to both the first and the second, and pretty much all the ones where they call the Predator or the alien, whatever, "you ugly motherfucker," which I thought was nice. But, and also the scene when Berserker is aiming his plasma caster at Roy, if you saw the trailer, it shows the laser going up Roy's chest to his head, it stops, and then a whole bunch of lasers go all over his body. After the film came out, they asked Robert Rodriguez why that was in the trailer, and he said that was purely for promotional purposes. Dude, you know how mad I was? Don't get me wrong, I still love the movie. But you know how mad I was? Because when I saw the trailer, I remember the trailer, I was seeing the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. And then in the trailer, I saw that, and I was getting hyped. And when it showed all the lasers, I'm like, oh, dude, there's going to be like 50 Preds. This is going to be lit. And now there's only fucking 3. It's still cool, but I was slightly disappointed. What about you? If you've seen the movie, were you disappointed about that shit? Drop it in the comments. Let's get on with the movie. As the team escapes, Hanzo stops in his tracks and senses that they are being followed. He gives the nod of approval to the rest of the team to head on towards the ship. He takes off his jacket and unsheathes his sword and prepared to battle the Falconer. So does that look familiar? Yeah. When Billy fucking stopped and took off his jacket and drew his machete in the first Predator. Well, Robert Rodriguez was like I said, how he said, be true to the first movie. And he said that he wanted to include the fight that we never got in the first Predator, which is why he chose Hanzo to fight Falconer with a sword. And this is probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. It's a really good ad, and kudos to Robert Rodriguez for putting this in the freaking movie. What do you think about this scene? Let's get on with the movie. Upon arriving to the camp, Royce tells the hung Predator that he wants off the planet and makes a deal. The Predator thrusts himself at him, checking to see why he deserves to be let off this planet. He sees that he is worthy and lets him go. The Predator dons his armor and shows Roy that he knew what he was talking about. He activates the ship so that Roy can escape the planet. So in that scene, when the Predator gets cut down and he just chokes Royce and, looks at him side to side, what he's doing is the same thing he did to Schwarzenegger in the first one. He's looking at him and seeing how he survived, like what's special about him, and basically why he shouldn't just kill him right then and there. But the smaller Yautja, the smaller predators, have the honor code, and they have to live by it. So, and also he did something good for him, so he's giving what he wants back. Also, if you notice the mask, it is the same mask from the original Predator. Once again, Robert Rodriguez staying true to the original film. Which, the original mask is cool, but I kind of get tired of seeing that shit. You see it in Predator 1, you see it later on in Predator 2, you see it in AVP, and then you see it now. I'm like, come on. Could you come up with something else? It is kind of cool. It's broken up on the side, but whatever. Let's get on with the movie, shall we? Meanwhile, Edwin and Isabella are caught in one of Berserker's traps. Berserker takes them back to the hunter's camp and sees that the young blood predator has been set free. This enrages Berserker, and they charge to do battle. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there, because if you've seen the movie, you know how it ends. So if you've seen the movie, drop in the comments what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and your favorite scene. If you haven't seen the movie, especially after where I left you off, go watch it, because you probably don't know how it ends. You probably can't guess. Go watch it, and come back here, drop in the comments what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and your favorite scene. Robert Rodriguez did a great job with this film. He had no inspiration drawn from the comics, from the novels, from any other movies besides the first Predator. And also, the title Predators, you would think just refers to the predators, but no, it's a double entendre. It refers to both the humans and the aliens, because in the movie, Isabella mentions that they are the predators of their world, because they're all killers and they've all done horrible things. So that's where you got the double entendre. But yes, this movie was really, really good. I would give this movie, based on the plot, it's not really an original idea. Some things are, but not the entire plot. It's basically the first movie, just a little bit more intense. I'm going to have to give Predators a 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 out of 10. But it's just, it's a good ride. It's great. Has thrills, action, horror. But like I said before, the special effects are whatever. But yeah, so if you liked this video, you stuck with me all the way, please give it a like, share amongst your friends, and subscribe if you haven't. And I would like to thank everyone that has subscribed, because I now have 60 subscribers, I think. And I've only had this channel for like a week, and I feel very blessed for that. Thank you so much. Also, the next movie I'll be doing will be the final installment in the Predator franchise is The Predator, directed by Shane Black, who also played Hawkins in the first Predator movie. And of course, I'll do more Predator movies as they come out with them. But until then, see you next time.